So recently I haven't really been feeling content in my body. I feel kind of like a potato. I'm not working out. I'm not consistent with my eating because my finances aren't consistent. And it's definitely been something on my mind. And it's like all the clothes in my closet are for a different version of me, like a different size of me. And I feel like during that time I was really hyper focused on like working out, but also for more of a like I want to fit into a certain size, and I like that size. I didn't see anything wrong with that size, but when I was that size and when I was focusing on a certain shape, I feel like I was attracting a certain type of person that was focused on my exterior instead of my interior. And I feel like I was the same way. And then I used to think like, so I prefer a man to be bigger than me. That's just my preference because I feel like, I don't know, I just think when we're connecting and stuff like that, like I don't want to be perceived as like heavier. And I definitely feel like I had some weight issues when I was in high school. And so I think I'm still having like a little bit of that. Because you know what I've noticed is like, while I'm not my smaller size, while I work in the garden and I do what I love, I actually have a lot of muscle under my insulation, as I call it. And so yeah, it's just kind of a weird thought because I also think like for me, when I think about when I'm attracted to somebody, I actually don't look for like that gym bod. I associate the gym bod with someone who has a lot of ego and pride. And even though in the past, when I was in that era of working out and stuff, like I didn't go to the gym, I just did it at home and stuff, and my life was just active. And my finances were more stable so I could buy and maintain the food that I, could eat healthfully. But it was always like, when I've been attracted to people, like it wasn't their body. Like I guess it was their overall, like, yeah, I like their shape, but it was their face. Like it was their face that I liked. And it wasn't like, it's like, I don't know. It wasn't so much like I didn't have certain size standards at all. I don't even have height standards, to be honest. Like I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I think that we're compatible, and that makes sense. But I also wanted somebody who's like on a similar, like I do want to be active in life. I do want to play more sports when I get to that time. And I do think it's important to be healthy. So it's not more of a size factor. It's more of like what is your compatibility? What are your morals? What are your beliefs? And like, what are your good habits? And so I think when I embrace more of that, then it's easier to embrace my size. And knowing that I'm not in my action era for my physical body, and that will change, I'm removing the attention and value that I used to hold within that. And I don't even think it's value. I think that was just like a outdated belief system that I had. And it's kind of like right now, the body that I'm in, I feel self-conscious. And to me, I'm like, well, I don't want to be around a man intimately with the body that I have right now, because I'm not accepting of myself. And so if I can't accept myself, why would a man accept me? Like, I think we have to be what we want. And then I also recognize, like, if I'm more focused on their face and their like sort of their values and their insides, then it makes sense that the man I connect with will also find the values there too. And so while I've moved away from the more petite and toned, I still want to do that because I feel good when my abs are strong, and I don't feel good when I'm bloated. Like, those are things that are just going to naturally occur once I move into a healthier lifestyle and a more peaceful life. And so to be less focused on them, I guess. Like, they need to have less priority. And I think I had a lot of importance in my exterior. And while I know that I want someone who treats me good, I have to treat me good too. And that when I do that, I'm going to connect somebody who, it's just really weird. I feel like the people in my past required me to be like a perfect version, in a way that, you know, kind of like what they mentioned, like a trophy wife in a way. And I'm like, but they were a mess on the inside, and they couldn't show up, and they kept disappearing. So it's almost like weird, like they were requiring me to be someone who they hadn't even like become. They couldn't even attain like the standard that they were requiring me to be. It was so weird when you look at like people like are putting you down and judging you, and like, okay, but like, how are you doing that? How are you providing that? And they weren't, and that's why they disappeared, because they could only show up in that charming, like successful, but not, because let's be honest, like they weren't providing for themselves. They were relying on everybody else to provide for them. So yeah, it's just kind of a different thing that's crossed my mind, is like, you know what, like when I look for people, it's not like I'm looking like what size they are. I'm not focused on like how big their chest is or how big their genders are, or I don't know. It's just kind of like I feel like I was attracting men that would put a lot of focus on those things, and I feel like that's really odd that you would put so much focus on the size of those things. But like, here I am doing it to myself, having these expectations of myself, especially during a time where I'm like releasing, unlearning and relearning new things. Like, I'm in transition. It's like I'm in renovation. And so like, I know when I'm in renovation, I can't do too many things at once, because I would need to put my time and energy to focus on one thing. I'm not very good at multitasking. I can do it, but I don't enjoy it. And so I think there's a message in that, where it's like I had these extreme expectations on myself, but they're placed by other people. And if someone can't see what I'm going through right now, and they need me to show up in a certain way for their comfort, then those people aren't my people. And if you've walked the path, then you know what healthy expectations to put on a person like that, who is walking along that avenue. And I think the people of that path will also recognize and see value in what is showing through. And even if that means like oily roots and dry ends, and no makeup, and an unfiltered picture, and you know, I don't get haircuts on a regular. I'm not groomed. My hair needs a haircut, and I'm doing the best with what I got. And I think that's how, in this moment, I'm finding the people that are for me, because I feel like they see value in that, because they've had to experience that themselves as well. I think that's where it's at. So just a food for thought kind of day. I'm out here in my hammock. It's actually quite loud, but peaceful at the same time. You can probably hear some construction. I don't know where that's coming. I know where it's coming from. I don't know what that's from. I don't know what they're over on the road, repaving the road. I'm repaving my road, very metaphoric. So yeah, I'm just out here in the garden. This is underneath my willow tree. It's really peaceful. I got my decaf, and Yeah, it's like a little hiding spot. It's like a willow tree that I let the leaves grow really long. So it's kind of like a little mushroom that I can sit underneath and relax in. So, yeah, hopefully that helps. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.